friends, Jamie here, digital business strategist and coach, here to talk to you today about how to avoid content overwhelm. OMG, so many of my clients suffer from content overwhelm. Raise your hand if you have ever experienced that 5 p.m. OMG, what am I gonna post today? I can't tell you how many of my clients come to me feeling anxiety around posting on social media. So if you are experiencing anxiety and overwhelm when it comes to posting on social media and creating content, let me know in the comments. Drop a note there, let me know, because I hear you, I see you, I feel you, I've been you. And so many of our clients have experienced the exact same thing when it comes to creating content on social media and creating content for their newsletter and their blog and for their Facebook Lives, for their YouTube videos and for their podcasts and all of that sort of fun stuff. So today I want to share with you 3 ninja tips that I personally use with all of my clients and in my Social Made Simple program to help you move from content overwhelm to content confident. One of the things that happens is when you're in this content overwhelm state, you're in a complete state of anxiety around the content that you're putting out in the world. And that resonates with every single person you interact with, your clients, your potential prospects, the people on your team, your family, and it's just super stressful. So what I want to help you do is move from that state of anxiety and overwhelm and help you step off that hamster wheel of social media and help you get out of that overwhelm. The first thing I want to talk to you about today is, as the CEO and entrepreneur of the business, I need you to let go of the micro content. And you might be thinking, Jamie, well, what's micro content? Micro content is that daily social media content that goes out that has a lifespan of a few hours to max a day or two. That micro content and your worry around that micro content is not serving you. As the CEO, you need to be focused on CEO activities. You need to be focused in strategic thinking, and you need to let go of that content that isn't going to serve you and have a long lifespan. Now, I definitely want you to post on social media because I know that social media works. In my own business, we've doubled each and every year for the past 2 years simply by getting consistent with social media. But I don't get involved in the day-to-day micro content in the business. And here is why. And this is ninja tip number 2. You have to focus on macro content. You as the CEO needs to create one hyper valuable piece of content each and every week. Look at all the big names in the industry. Look at the Russell Brunsons, the Alex Sharfins, the Brendan Burchards, the Tony Robbins. They focus on creating one hyper value driven piece of content each and every week, and then they distribute it everywhere. If you haven't noticed this, just wait and see. But as the business owner, you need to give yourself permission to switch your thinking into this macro content mindset. Now, it's not always easy because if you are in the hamster wheel every day at 5 p.m., you're like, oh, what am I going to post today? I want to give you permission right now to take a 2-week break from social media. Let your followers know that you're going to take a break. Let them know that you are getting more strategic around the content that you're creating on social media and that you'll be back in 2 weeks. And then give yourself that permission to do so. Simply unplug and focus on creating that macro content. Now, macro content is content that lasts for days, weeks, months, even years. We have pieces of macro content, one of which we were just looking at before we started this video, that was from 9 months ago that still gets views on social media because it is such a valuable piece of content. So when you're thinking about macro content, think about pieces of content like Facebook Lives, YouTube videos like this, podcasts, long form emails or long form blogs, even books are pieces of macro content. When you're trying to figure out, hey, which piece of macro content should I commit to? Think about how your ideal client consumes content. Whichever way you choose to go, pick one medium and stick with it. And you have to give it time to actually start to work for you. Once you choose your macro content platform or medium, that's when you can then start to delegate. And that is one of the most important things to think about as you are growing your business. So ninja tip number 3 is going to be batch create content. So this is how I get so much done all the time. I batch create content. So each and every Wednesday, my team and I have what we call OMG Day, and the team literally works on the business of OMG. For me, that's the day I create all of my YouTube videos, all of my podcasts, all of my emails that I write. That's the day where I simply focus on batch creating content. And if you are not batch creating content, then it's time to drop everything you're doing, put some time on your calendar, 2 to 3 hours, and sit there and focus on that one task at hand. And the most awesome thing that happens when you start to batch create content is that you are going to be able to get ahead in that state of overwhelm and that state of anxiety that you feel around putting yourself out there on the internet is going to be completely gone because you're going to be ahead of the game. And the cool thing that happens when you start to batch create content is that you can actually create a series of content that goes seamlessly together. So you're being more strategic around the content that you're putting out on social media. You're being more strategic around the content that you're putting out in your emails and on your blog and all of the different ways in which you are distributing content. And I highly encourage you to sit and create a process for yourself. My process for when it comes to batch creating content is to sit and write. I will literally sit and write the outline for all 4 of the podcasts that I want to record. And then I will sit and go and record all 4 of the podcasts next because it's much easier for me to sit and write 4 and then sit and record 4 rather than write 1, record 1, write 1, record 1. For you, I encourage you to take that same philosophy. And remember, for you, this macro content that you are creating is so powerful because you can distribute it in so many different places. So if you create one video, you can literally create hundreds of different social media posts from that. You can create emails, you can create blogs, you can create podcasts. The possibilities are limitless. So I encourage you to start and switch your thinking from micro content to macro content and watch the content overwhelm disappear. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the OMG Show on YouTube. That way, every single week when we send out a video, you'll get notified when that video goes live. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you all soon.